We need to move on next to Sakib Hasan at UW-Milwaukee. He will be giving us a brief overview of GitHub.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Sakib. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Today we're gonna talk a little about GitHub and starting with GitHub. Mostly, before starting, I would like to thank my supervisor, Mary Diaz from La Crosse County, and also the director of from La Crosse County, Mr. Nathan Sampson. So I'd like to start sharing my screen. Yeah. So
Looks good, Sakib.
Yeah. So it's GitHub. It's an open source platform for the modern world. Most of you know, and those who have some kind of like programming qualities and like programming in their day-to-day life, I think they are most recognized to the GitHub and the usability. So I have segmented it, my presentation to some points, the need for GitHub, what is GitHub, getting started with GitHub, I will be going through some of the basics of GitHub, those who are not working with it for now, so that they can just jump in and just start using GitHub and start sharing their codes and stuff. So without further ado, let's go to the need for GitHub. So it's basically a cloud-based code hosting platform where you can share your Python or like Java or like any kind of language code in a cloud-based platform, which is very useful for like version control. For version control, I mean like there are different versions for same project or like a same repository. I will come to the repository section. So it really controls the versions very well. And many of the software developers try to collaborate with each other on one project. And GitHub is really useful for that. It can just use the collaborators as a platform, as a common platform. Then multiple people can work on the on one project simultaneously, and the hosting of the project is really easy through GitHub. So advantageous is it has a very nice, powerful community. It has a very large community, and it has a lot of repositories, easy version control, and secure cloud storage. So what is a Git? We can say that it is a version control system that manages source code history. I can make it a little simpler by the example of Twitter or Facebook. When you keep on posting one of your posts, it keeps a record that when are you posting it, and it keeps the history. So that is what a Git does. It just keeps your history on, and like for a system control or for your codes, for your updates, it just keeps that history. And it can be installed and maintained in your local system. For example, you can use the GitHub Desktop. And it is a tool, and GitHub is a service. Well, you can use the Gits in GitHub, basically. So GitHub is basically a hosting service, easy management. You can you can manage your codes very easily. Then it's open source software for version control, effective collaboration, and you can also use the bug tracker from GitHub, and they are called issues. I think the the presentation is getting very technical. So yeah, with this version control thing, you need to push and pull data. So what does that do is like you can call a certain record that you made or the changes you made before. You can call that record with the push and pull data. It's a core hosting platform, and it allows central repository in a remote server. So without further ado, we can go to starting with the GitHub thing. So for starting with GitHub, we have to go to their central website, let's say GitHub. And if you just put GitHub, the first link that you see, you click on that and you are on their central website. So this is how the website looks. And here there is a search option with which you can just search any kind of work that has been made by other people. And for example, we can type like geocoding. So when we type geocoding, we can see that how many people have gone through different types of geocoding and stuff. And there's a short description for every one of that, how it works, and there should be a readme file through which you can just go through the details that how to run this code, how to use this for your work. So if you want to use the GitHub for your own projects and you want to uh, uh, have people working in your project as a collaborator, you can just create a GitHub account. I have mine, so I will use that GitHub account uh, of mine. So I'm just giving my credentials, and I will sign in. Oh, sorry. So this is the page how it will look in the GitHub when you first open your GitHub account. I have certainly previous codes in the GitHub. So I will just, but I will show you all from the scratch. So this is how the page looks. And with the icon of the GitHub, if you click that, it just brings you to your home page. We will come to pull requests and issues later. I want to show you what the marketplace does here. So in the marketplace, you can like buy different kind of properties. For Azure pipelines, you can see what is there. Um, like you can have like different public repositories and all. So you can go through the marketplace and search there for your needed uh, feature and just download that from there or like buy one. Then I would like to come to the option of explore. This is very like a very popular site section within the explore. This just works as an Instagram or a Facebook account. You can just follow what's trending, what are the trending codes today on the right hand side. And on the left hand side, you can just see some of the coders, oh, what are they doing for now. And you can follow one of them or one or more, and you can go to like topics and just type, this is what I want to know. You can see the trending topics, you can see the collections, you can go to events that are happening worldwide. And also you can see the GitHub sponsors. So yeah, and next I would like to jump to my home page. So I click this GitHub icons. And then there are three buttons on the right side. I would like to talk about them. a little bit. So this is the notification icon. It is very self-explanatory. So here you can see if there are any notifications. You can see your saved notifications if you save one or more, and you can go for the projects or the repositories that are done. You can see here if any notifications arrive. I have none for now, so they are showing blank. Then is the plus icon. From here you can create your new repository, import one, or you can build a new project. I'm speaking of the word repository. This is a very important term for the GitHub. It's basically a storage space where you save your files, where you save your codes, where you save your attributes like pictures, videos, anything. This is what a repository is. It's just a cloud space that's given by GitHub to you. So this is what the plus sign is. This is to configure your personal bio. So you click on the icon and just you go for your profile. You can give a profile picture. You can edit your profile, so say your website or like company name or like a bio. And here you can see some of my works that I have done, like contributions, or like I have collaborated with some other projects. I can see here, though there are not many, but yes, there are some of the signs. So yes, so for that will be like getting started with a GitHub. Then I would create a repository. So now I will show you how to create a repository and how to start with your coding with GitHub, like upload your codes on GitHub. So for that, I would love to go to the main page or the home page for clicking this icon. So now I want to make a new repository. I can do it in two ways. One is the new repositories. There will be a new option, or if you open your account for the first time, there will be an icon saying create a new repository. Or as I said earlier, you can also click on the plus sign and click new repository. When you click the new repository, this is the owner name, and you should give a name of the repository. For example, I would just name it the first repository, as I'm doing for everyone that's using the GitHub for the first section. Then I can put in description like this is my first repository for GitHub. And you can say state the privacy setting for public or private. So here it says that anyone can see your repository, but when you try or choose the contributors, only they can commit. Or by the word commit, they mean the change that they can only change who you will give the privilege to. Then there are some other options like adding a README file. That's very useful. I would do that. Then there is like a getty ignore file that you can use, which will give you a template so that you don't have to see the other commits. And then you can choose a license. For different like professional works, they use different kind of license, like Apache license or general public license, different kind of license. For now, I will be choosing none. So then I would just click the create repository. And if I click the create repository, then it will take some time depending on the internet connection. And then it will create my repository or my storage space, just like a Google Drive or a OneDrive. It just creates that thing. So I have mentioned that I would need a README file. So this is my README file. If I want to edit the README file. I will just click that, and I can see some of the buttons here for like this uh, monitor icon shows open the file in GitHub desktop, and you can certainly do that if you just click Google GitHub desktop. You can just download that by clicking on the icon. You can use for the Windows version, you can use for the Mac version, whichever you choose. So this is the first repository, and I can see the first repository description. So that's how you create a repository. You can certainly go back to your first repository and just add a file. You can upload, you can create a file. For uploading files, I would just choose a file maybe for like CSV file, for instance. Uh, that was, I was working on a project of crime prediction. So yeah, so I can just click and commit changes, and it will take some time. And after some time, it will just show that the file is there. So that's how you create a repository. For some of the people using GitHub, including me, I had a problem with creating a folder in a repository. So you cannot create a folder just by just clicking inserting a folder. In order to create a folder, you need to create add file, and you need to click create new file. And then if you want to make a folder, you have to type the name of the folder. Maybe I would type data, and then you have to put a /. Then it will show you a different subdirectory. Then you just name a file, maybe a README again from the GitHub. So that's how you commit new file. And then if you go to your main repository, you can see that there is a folder there named data that I just created. So I haven't found a simple way to create a folder. This is the only way I know. But if you all have suggestions, I would love them in the comment section. Then I would go for creating a branch. It's the branch work as just a copy, so that if you do not want to work with the main file, you want to make a different copy and work through there, you can just go by clicking making a branch and just working on that branch. So for now on, I can see that there is only one branch in this repository. So if I click the main, then it says that if do you want to find or create a branch. Now I want to create a branch. So I want to name a new branch, naming maybe new branch 1. So that's how I want to create a branch. So here it says create branch, new branch 1 from main. I will just click that, and it creates a branch. So now if I click on the branch, I have two. The one is main and the other one is new branch 1. So that's how you create branches. Creating branches are important because you don't want to mess up with your main file or your core file. So it's sometimes important to create a branch. So now that's how you create a branch. Now it's like making a commit. Like making a commit is like just editing. So if you edit a file, that's basically the committing. So if in the branch 1, in the new branch 1, if I just want to make a edit, I would just go to my README file. Then as you all can see, I have misspelled the word first. I have written it correct, or like a different thing. So I can edit this file by clicking on the second pencil icon. I just create that, or I can just delete this file. So I would like to edit, and I would like to first correctly spell the word, and then I would just type this is the second line. This is just an addition. So this is the second line, and I would just want to commit these changes. I want to commit directly to the new branch 1 branch, and I don't want to create a pull request now because I will show that in a couple of minutes. So you can also add a description that I made, what the changes that you made. You can just do that. So but you can then click the commit changes. And when you click the commit changes, you can see that now there is your new line that's written. This is the second line. Then I would like to show the open and merge pull requests. So for that, I need to click on the upper side. That's the pull request. And I would just click new pull request. And the pull request, what it does, it compares the two branches, what are the changes that have been made. So for the basic branch, I would see main, and for comparing, I would see new branch 1. And when you see that, when you look at this comparison, you can see that with the green highlighted line, it says the changes that have been made. So it also says that it's able to merge to the main branch. So you can create that. You can do that by creating pull request. And again, you can make a comment, what are the merges that you are making, and you can just click pull request. And then you will see that it also can be merged to your main account. If you don't want to do that, you don't need to. But if you want to, then you just click merge pull request and you click confirm merge. Then it will show you that the merge request is successfully merged and closed. So what it did is, now if you go to your main branch, you will see the edit has been made from the branch 1 that you made. So that's what merge and pull request does. So suppose you are working with a lot of collaborators and they're having their own versions, and you can just certainly come up to versions, okay, this one is the best. So this will be our main code or the main thing that we'll be working on. So you can certainly pull the pull request and just merge it. Now there are some other buttons. Those are issues. Mainly they are for bugs. So if you run the code on this, that will be some issues or bugs that you can see here. You can have some insights of your code, that how many pull requests you have made, how many changes that you have done. So yeah, that will be very easy for you all to just keep track of what you are doing. So that is mostly what I wanted to show in order to getting started with the GitHub. And I would love to thank Ms. Kim Maynard and Ms. Jennifer Burley, if I haven't spelled their name correctly. If I didn't, I'm sorry for that. So yeah, that will be my presentation, and I would love to hear some of the questions.
Thank you, Sakib. I can see that being very valuable when collaborating on Python scripts and whatnot in our community. That's really awesome. And I think one of the key things to learning a new environment is just learning the lingo. So that really helped a lot. We do have a comment in the chat. Some other things that someone is throwing out here. JPG, I don't know who that is. One, They use GitHub Pages as a quick way to serve a project out for others to view, comment on, proof of concept. And number two, this sounds really important, do not push any sort of secret keys or IDs to GitHub. Use a .env file, for example, to hide those variables, and be sure to add that .env file to your git ignore. So that's a good tip, I think.
Yeah, that's obviously a good tip, and thank you very much for that. Yeah, I think there is another comment.
Yes. Does GitHub work for things like large Word or PDF documents for review as well as for code? So could you use it for other things?
Yes, you can use it for anything. It's just, as I said, a repository works as a cloud storage system, so you can store anything else. But for your to review your code, you need to have it on the languages, different languages like Python, Java. That would help the other contributors to just edit those, or they will have to transfer it from a PDF or a Word file. Then we'll have to go through them again. Mm-hmm.
And GitHub is free, yes?
Yes.
And are there any limitations, size limitations that you're aware of?
For the initial users, the size,
for like a free user.
Yeah, for a free user, there shouldn't be any problem with the sizes for now. But if anyone uses for like the enterprise or like a
Right.
different company, they need to go through some certain, I forgot the name of that thing. Yeah, they just have to go to different licenses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, thank you very much, Sakib. Got a time for one more question if anybody's got one. If you'd like to unmute yourself and ask personally, you can do that too.
Yep.
Yeah. In the meantime, I can also like add, there are a lot of like attributes for the students. For students, GitHub is there are a lot of like development tools or software development tools available there. You just type developers in GitHub for students, and a different tools will come up. So that will be a lot helpful.
Okay, thank you.
And for different data, recently I can recall I just created a map using Python for COVID-19 cases, creating a travel advisory map. So I just used the data that were available on GitHub. So that's also a huge like storages for like different data sets. So you just have to look and search for it.
Yeah.
And I may or may not have stolen your data and put it in my maps on my hub. So
That's really open source, so that's very okay.
okay.